who you gonna marry? And if I answered wrong, that gun was going off, nigga.
Not gun in my head.
It's
Who?
still
What?
running. I wonder if they're putting out
Woke
chat.
Trends wants to
Mm,
message
mm,
me.
mm, mm. Gonna move
Are
this
you gonna explain
down.
this email to
Big
us, or
Mike
is that
Daddy
part of the
needs his
episode?
mic right under the mouth. Oh yeah.
Are you gonna Are you gonna explain this email, or is that part of the episode?
What email? That random ass email? No.
Yes.
I'll explain it to y'all, I
Mhm.
guess. I mean, it was just somebody saying that they wanted to interview us. That's all it was. I
Is
was
that what
saying,
Oh,
that was?
it didn't
someone
look
from
like that.
Texas, and they were like, "Yeah, we do stuff local here in Austin." And I was like, "We're not from Austin, but we'd love an interview for your magazine." So, Greg was working today, as you can see.
I see.
We've
No,
heard.
I'm gonna get you get big props today. Like big props. You out here trying to get money.
I
Why
told
you
you I was
send
trying
me
to get
this?
money, nigga.
Hey,
Your woke
I did
trends
all of
aren't
my
cool.
posts today
I'm
for
not
the
gonna
first
lie,
time.
he is slowly gonna become people's favorites because he's becoming my favorites. I enjoyed his videos a lot.
He, first of all, I don't like it, and I
I'm
was
like,
gonna
this little
talk about it when
fucker.
we got live. I was gonna talk about it when we was going live because first of all, who told him to bring sexy back to the pod? The
I know,
sexy was
right? This
here.
nigga got the collarbones out, the muscles. I know you ain't even that strong, nigga. Don't lie to these people. Like, stop it.
Never said. I never
And then
said.
Nigga
and
got
then
the
hit a
collarbone
whole
out.
180.
I mean, I could get like
Right, I got
nigga.
collarbone. And then hits a whole 180 and covers up in a onesie the next.
You modest little slut, you. Like you think
It's
you got them tricked, but we're on to your shenanigans. Goddamn it.
To your shenanigans. You're
look,
not going shenanigans.
Yeah, you shenan once. We're not gonna let you shenan again. Goddamn it.
look. It's the African that got the collarbone popping. I'm trying to tell y'all that
I'm keeping this
Nigerian.
in, by the way.
It stays. It stays. Okay, the Nigerian shows, and then on top of that, um, I just be trying to live my life. You know, I'm on my Deion Sanders kick this season. That's what we on. Okay, we
Mm.
got the bandanas out
Do rag out.
instead of
Y'all
the
like
do.
it? Some.
I
So
didn't know
far,
we was
so
wrapping our
far,
head up this episode. I did not get that memo.
I quite
I
literally
don't
was
need you to
like,
wrap your hair.
I
You look
saw he'd
amazing.
have his on. He'd the trendsetter now, so it's like, add that to your AKAs. He'd the trendsetter now. I was like, I gotta put something on my head. You feel? One, my hair's not done. And y'all know I hate when my hair's not done. So it's like, let me throw
Your hair
something on
never
the.
looks as bad as you think, though.
I know, but I'm a.
But that's good.
When it
That's
comes to
good.
my hair, I'm a pretty boy. Like I want my hair to be twisted and look neat all the fucking time. Period. Point blank. It bothers me when it isn't. Not my beard, just my head. Cause my beard, I'll let that get scruffy as fuck. I don't care. Cause I'm the one
But
that
I
shapes
think
this motherfucker up.
that's a good mentality to have because then you're never as rough as other people would be.
No, everybody always is like, yo, your hair is so neat. Like when you do locks, like you make it look like super neat. Like I don't think I've ever seen your hair rough. I'm like, there's been times where I've been like, I look homeless. I look at myself like I look homeless, and people are like, no, you don't even look like your hair's like a little fluffy, sure, but like I've seen worse.
I used to
I'm
feel
like,
like
well,
that
I
with hair
haven't,
loss
and I don't
too,
want to.
and it drives me nuts because they like, I gotta do my hair, and I'm like, it's fine, it's okay, it looks nice. Nah, you can see my new growth. Yes, that's a thing. It looks fine. I can
I can
still
see
see your
Killian
part.
just
Like
sniffing
it's
the
not that
wall.
bad. Uh, he wants some attention real bad.
So he sniffs the wall and just looks at your stuff.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
you
he
do it.
he likes to look at my stuff. I have cool
Oh,
stuff.
Those aren't dog
Vinny,
colors.
if you like Yakuza Wife, you should watch My Bride is a Mermaid.
What's about Heat? How
Um,
horrible is it? How
no,
horribly good is it?
it's about a girl that she's part of this, Yakuza family, and some kid guy that's just like in school with her, and I think he saved her or something, and then I was like, oh well, now you're engaged to her because of what you just did. Turns out her family's like fish people, so she's actually a mermaid. um it's really a comedy, but it's cool. They have chibi little moments in there. It's cute.
Domain expansion.
I gotta write this down. See, you always see he's the problem. This is why I literally just was bragging about how I was chopping down my anime list, and he's like, "You feel accomplished? No, put something else on
How
there."
you gonna get
What
mad
is
at
it? My
the anime
Bride the
official? No, let
Mermaid.
me get into the episode. God damn it, y'all got us talking. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Galaxy Greg, and welcome to episode 112 of the Be More Nerdy podcast. I'm your host Galaxy Greg, and with me today is my co-host. Now, fuck that. Before I get into co-host, a Diva XOXO, I need to give my AKAs because this is still new. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still not 100% there, but AKA Mr. Space Awaits, AKA the OG Galaxy, AKA the Hentai Honcho. It's your boy. Now, my co-host Diva XOXO.
What it is, little dummies. It's your girl Diva XOXO, aka the Sophista Ratchet, aka the official Disney. No, the official unofficial Disney
You gonna
princess.
get it one
That
of
was
these
always
days, I
hard.
promise.
I am one day, and aka the HNIC, the head nerd in charge.
He
I
the
guess it's my
boy.
turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
You know, look, you already know what it is. It's HD No TV here, aka Mr. Anime Aficionado, aka Mr. Antisocial, aka Mr. Worldwide, and of course the newest one, Mr. Collarbone Showing. Okay.
Apparently, but that Mr. Worldwide thing is crazy. He says that because at first I was like, "Oh, that's funny," because you sound like fucking Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, that shit. But no, this nigga really be worldwide. Like this nigga just called out of work and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in Greece." What? Excuse you? What you mean you gonna be in Greece?
I've been
Where
on
was you
three
last week in
continents
Heat?
in the past 2 months.
Where were you last week in Heat? He has not. His apartment is so that he has a place to sleep after work
Honestly,
because he
Like
don't be
GTA.
there.
facts because
Just go
he just
back
be
and
on the
change your
move.
clothes.
If it's a weekend, he not there. He
He not
probably
there.
not there.
He not there.
I went to go see Childish Gambino in New Orleans, and I had souvenirs, but I don't know where they are. But it was a great show. It was his last show actually, because he just canceled the rest of them because he said he's not feeling well. But he
Damn.
said he's still gonna honor them. He said he's going to honor them at a later date, but he's just not going to do it right now. And I'm just like, damn. So we caught the last one before he said, "Fuck this." I'm like, that's special.
Somebody gave him COVID.
Somebody gave that
Yeah,
nigga COVID. You know it. Because he was definitely
might have
walking
been
through the
Willow.
crowds, wasn't he?
He was walking like through the sides of like if the arena is the floor, like he was walking through the side of the floor. Security was not letting people get near him.
Look, all it takes is
But
one nigga going,
yeah, but he was mobile a lot. Like he was constantly moving the whole time. His dancers were fucking killing it. Like he had one guy and two girls, and they was up there killing it.
all right. Well,
You know, he in the background doing this. Oh, this is America. You know, he vibing.
What did you do? What dance did you do?
Oh, I don't dance. I try, but I just like rock. But I know them
Why that
songs. I
rock
get
is
to
like
them
your little
lyrics.
beat?
So we're gonna get right into it. So our topic for the day is anime we would recommend to people who are just starting out or who want to get into anime. Because I know we haven't done recommendations in a long time, so don't take this for our recommendations per se. Take this as recommendations if you're starting. If you've never seen anime, if you got a friend that you want to get into anime, anything like that, this would be for them, right? We do recommendations here, and we're planning a recommendation episode of like our favorites, our best. Like this is gas, watch this. But these are shows I think are either easy. We think are either easy to get into, really good, or just gonna give you that anime respect off the rip if you were to start watching them. Like if you say, "Oh, I'm new, but I watch this," you won't get no flack, you won't get no hate. Niggas will just accept you, and will also be good and easy to watch. Like good watches, right? So,
Yep.
Who wants to go first?
Me.
Diva, go ahead. We're each going to do 5.
Well, if you have been listening to the podcast for any amount of time, you should all know what my anime recommendation is. It is my favorite anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood specifically. As an entry anime, I think it has a good balance of story, good characters. It's not a world build. Actually, it has some pretty good world building, actually. Do you want to start from the beginning or anyway?
You were saying Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is good
Thank
because
you.
yeah.
Great characters, great story building. It has some of your classic anime stuff in it, like some of your classic anime tropes and jokes, like stuff that I feel like if you saw in other anime would look weird, like when the characters like are drawn completely different, like really blank, like almost zero to no detail, or like the nosebleeds and like in the exaggeration. I feel like it's just enough in that storyline for you to be like used to it, because some animes just do it because that's just how anime is, and it's just like, oh, and I feel like they do it well enough for you to not to be so thrown off by it. And also, great story, great amount of action. It is my favorite anime. It'll always be my. I don't know. I don't want to say it'll always be my favorite anime. It probably always will be my favorite anime. I consider it perfect. Um, like, so that's what I always suggest. Like, if somebody asks me, like, hey, I want to get into anime, what should I watch? I'm going to tell you Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And if I'm feeling really nerdy at the moment, I will say, not only will I say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I'll say, you need to watch Full Metal
We're
Alchemist.
not doing that. This is for the beginners. Keep it at that. I know what you're about to do. Don't do your little shtick. Don't do it. Watch Full Metal
But if you put it
Alchemist
together,
Brotherhood. Nope.
I like the regular one.
you put it
I
together.
will add, if you're a fan of like darker tone things, you just watch the regular one. Don't watch Brotherhood.
Yeah, but there's a way to apparently, and I know I've seen it and I still don't like it. There's a movie to the regular
Yeah,
one
Yes.
to like
there is.
finish it,
Yes.
and it's like
Yeah.
the end.
Yes.
I still don't like it, y'all. I tried. I have tried, and I can say that. I can say I tried.
Well, I'm going to keep you on topic. Watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That is her first recommendation. If you want to get to the nerdy side, you can give it during the recommendation episode. But yes, I do agree. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is an amazing anime. It's very good. Everybody will recognize it, and everyone gives it its flowers. Like, fun fact: it's one of the few animes written by a woman, and it's a 10 out of
Yes,
10. And also
it is.
features good women characters, disabled people, and oppression in black people. There we go.
Yeah.
And it's number 2 on the all-time anime list.
What's number
Yeah,
one?
it moves between 1 and 2.
What's number one?
Right now, Free Run is number 1.
Huh?
Yeah, Free Run is number 1.
That's not gonna
by
last.
percentage. Yeah, it's by percentage. So enough people watch Free Run that are ranking it high.
No, that's not gonna last. Okay, got it. Yeah.
I'm
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just Full Metal Alchemist came out when, like, 2000s.
2003, 2005.
2000. There's
I think
2000.
I think it ended by 2007.
Yeah.
So yeah, but cool. Pete, what you got?
Wait, before I finish, I forgot to say it is how I got my fiance into anime. So special place.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Pete, what you got?
2009.
Anime aficionado. Let me hear something.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I'm gonna do something a little more niche, but if you're a fan of comedy and fan of the freaky, not super freaky like Greg up here, but regular freaky, I'm gonna go Heaven's Lost Property.
Why do I
Never
remember
heard
that? Have I seen that?
You might have seen it. So
Never
Heaven's
seen
Lost Property it's a sci-fi type harem anime where really just the high school boy is outside minding his own business, and an angel falls out the sky. In actuality, the angels come in later bits. Like basically, angels keep falling out the sky every couple
Yes,
episodes.
I
They're
fucking
looking
remember
for the
this.
other angels, but it's super hilarious. There's a lot of chibi moments in there, so the characters get real tiny and adorable. If you're a fan of Fairly Odd Parents, it's very similar in the sense that he makes a wish and then the angels make it come true, but through technology, not like just magic wishing powers. So it's definitely a really good watch. There's 2 seasons. I think all in all it's like 26 episodes, but it's really funny. If you can if you're okay with like little etchy, little like, what's the word? Sex appeal? I don't know the word. They know the word.
We know.
You know,
Ecchi.
Fan
Ecchi's
service.
what
There
you
you go.
Oh, fan service.
Yeah, yeah.
Ecchi's usually more adult. Ecchi's a little bit more adult. Fan service is like it can stay childish for the most part, but Ecchi's I know. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So fan servicey, it's cool. If you've ever heard anyone watching Seven Deadly Sins, the main character is very similar to Meliodas, if that helps people who do know that show. So carry on.
Okay. So mine, I'm gonna have a mix. I have a whole bunch on my list, but I kind of
And
filed it down. I got some honorable. I got like one honorable mention for a specific group of people. Um, but since he's gonna talk about me and my horniness, this one isn't necessarily. I would say horny. It's a comedy, right? And the comedy exists around the idea of sex. And if you just want something that's gonna make you laugh and just have a good time, because it's a bunch
Okay.
of dirty jokes in there, Shimonetta. Shimonetta is a really good one. The long title is a, a world where the concept of dirty jokes don't exist, right?
Yep.
That's just a straight comedy, like exactly how it sounds. Basically, all things sexually related have been outlawed. Like teenagers can't talk about sex, they can't watch porn. That's outlawed. All that shit's gone. And this one chick is a revolutionary trying to bring it back around. And it leads to a bunch of like quirky events and happenings in which these this group is like sex is natural. This is all natural. It's what we do. Is how we live. We should be able to talk about it. Versus the super serious people, but amongst the super serious people is a bunch of sexually repressed people who don't understand their own feelings, and which creates one of the funniest scenes ever.
is that the love nectar scene?
The love nectar scene.
I've never seen it, but I know about the love nectar
It's fucking
scene.
hilarious. She put this man.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go into it. It's really funny. If you're gonna watch it, just know I don't think there's any. There's no nudity. There's like what fan service. A lot of fan servicey scenes, but the main character isn't a pervert or anything like that. He actually avoids a lot of this stuff because he's a good guy. He's only a part of it because he's like, oh, sex is natural. We should be able to talk about it. But he's like, I don't believe in these debaucheries. Stop, please. So it's really funny. I recommend
And
if you really like just dirty comedy, but don't want to watch porn per se, just watch that. It's a good time. I promise.
can you guys, for our listeners, since this is for people new to anime, define fan service and ecchi?
Fan service would be defined as like any scene that's overtly sexual, but not meant to lead towards sex in nature. So fan service could be a skirt blowing up. It could be someone groping a boob. It could be the Nanami scene from Jujutsu Kaisen in which he grabs the guy's ponytail like real sensual. Or actually the Chozo scene was actually not in the manga at all. He like kind of did this, but in the manga they had him pull his shirt all the way the fuck over here so you can see everything. That would be considered female fan service. Male fan service would be more of like something involving ass and titties. While
Yeah.
ecchi is more, I don't know the exact definition, but it's more sexually based where it goes a little bit further. You might see a boob. You might have titties going in a nigga face. You might have a weird moment where they like touch a butt or like something gets pressed
Yeah.
up on a butt, but there's no sex involved.
Yeah. Sexy, dirty, playful. It goes if you're scaling it, it will be fan service, etchy, then hentai. Hentai's literal translation is pervert, but hentai is also a genre of
Honcho's literal
pervert.
translation is squad leader, so the hentai honcho, the pervert squad leader,
Yeah,
if you didn't understand it. Pew, pew, pew.
exactly. So I think Greg defined it pretty
Is
well.
what Greg is.
Oh, most
Is what
definitely,
Greg is.
absolutely. I own it.
So I guess it is my turn.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the one that I just recently finished. So I just finished Mashal last night.
I'm
I
so mad at her about that too.
I feel like it is a great introductory anime. Like it has good explanation. Like they do a lot of like they find ways in the story to explain what's going on, except like if you aren't used to like anime or magic or whatever, like these kind of worlds. They do a great job at explaining. The concept is really funny and quirky, but also it like the way they tackle the concept is funny and quirky, but it's serious. It's like, oh, you don't have human rights because you don't have magic. If you don't have magic, you don't have human rights. You must be dead. Like it is basically you're an abomination. And Marshall doesn't have magic, but this motherfucker, he's oh him. I love how him he is. He don't care. Like, and he just wants his cream puffs. It's funny. It's very lighthearted. It takes a very serious issues of classism and um blah, 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 blah.
Give me a 1 sentence synopsis of the show, because you're
Not
telling me a lot of the
separation.
features of it, but I don't know like a simple
Give me a second.
plot.
Give me a second. I
No,
need the
you got
word.
it. But just
What's
to
the
help
word?
her
It starts
out,
with an S. It starts with an S. What's the
what?
word? Not separation. Segregation. Ah.
Jesus Christ.
Look,
It
we
tackles
struggle
those
with our
issues very
words
well.
here.
So the
Words
the
are
show's
hard.
about words are hard. I've been having a really hard time with words apparently today. Important to Jordan's text message.
You're not alone.
Um, so the show is about a world where magic is everything, and the main character cannot use magic at all. And it's about him trying to become one of the most powerful people in that world so that he can basically so he can live. Because if he doesn't accomplish his goal, they will kill him. So he has to accomplish this goal. And all of the friends and trials he has along the
To
way.
add to that, it's a shonen comedy. So
Yeah.
it's almost a gag show where they make fun of power systems and stuff like that. I just wanted to add that because the way you made it sounds like it sounds super serious, but the show is a very
I just said it
light-hearted
wasn't.
show.
I said that same word.
I know. I just wanted to add that as a.
I just
I
want to
want to
add
layer
that.
it. Just
They both love that show a lot, so
so I was gonna say I was mad at Diva because I recommended this show to her when season 1 came out. She's like, "Oh, I'll
Did you
get to
really?
it. Oh, I'll get to it." And then she was
I got
like,
to it.
I was like, "Yo, you need to watch it. I know you're gonna enjoy this show a lot." And she was like, "Oh, I'll get to it. Oh, I'll get to it." Now season 2 is done, and she finished season 1 in a weekend and was like, "I need season 2 now."
I finished it all. You talking about a weekend in 2 days. That's what I watched while I braided my hair. So what I did was
All
I
I'm
put
saying is
up
I know I'm a good at recommending shit too.
you're good. I've never doubted any of your recommendations. You have hurt my heart on some air gear, but
It's not my
me-
fault the nigga didn't want to make another season.
but but yeah, I highly suggest it, especially if you like something that's funny like that, but still has that like you want your typical anime tropes, but really funny and like lighthearted. It's really good. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, which is great.
All right, Heat.
I was trying to look up another one, but I'll just go with the ones on my list. I feel like a good one if you're a fan of action-packed things. It's a spin-off of a game, Devil May Cry.
I didn't know you seen that. That shit was good. It's only
Yeah,
like 12 episodes, 15
yeah,
episodes. It's like 15
it's like
episodes. It's very
13,
short. It's
14.
very
Yeah.
short.
It's very short, but if you know of the game Devil May Cry, I had 5 of those. It's real good. The show is basically about a spiritual or demon hunting detective
He's a
named Dante.
demon hunter, technically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
demon hunter named Dante. He's a real Deadpool type character. He doesn't take himself too serious, but he's very nice when it comes to actually getting into the action. So it's a kind of old one. It's short, but it's a good intro. It's like, oh, I want to see more like action paced shonen type anime because this was tough. So that's a good little starter for some people.
Fun fact about Dante, he loves strawberry, what is it? Like strawberry sundaes, strawberry shortcake, something like that.
Didn't know that. I think that was in there.
It was in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strawberry
No,
sundaes and supreme pizza.
You know what I like that a lot of animes do?
What?
And like I just like about animes in general, when they do like the commercial break little slide cards, it's all like a lot of them do like fun facts about the characters. Like that had nothing to do with the story. My Hero does it well. Like it'll be like Shoto and it's like likes cold soba and hates this. And I'm like just so nice. Like I don't need that stuff, but it's like it's nice to have it. It's nice to
It
know.
gives depth
You
to the
know?
character.
Yeah. I love
Um,
a lot of animes do that and I love that.
so I'm gonna continue with my comedy before I start getting to my more serious ones. Bofui.
Oh, I like that.
Bofui, long title is I didn't want to
I
get
didn't
hurt.
want to get hurt,
So
so I maxed out my defense.
yeah. Basically that one's a comedy about this girl who goes by the name Maple. She's playing a VR game. Um but when the way they play the VR games, they basically put themselves in it. But the premise of the show is that she's never played an RPG, and like the title says, she's scared of getting hurt, so she maxes out her defense, and that's not normal at all. But in maxing out her defense, she becomes one of the strongest players in the game very quickly because of her non-conventional way of playing and doing things. Quickest example, in the first episode, her defense was so high and she ended up playing with a rabbit that it got higher and doubled. And then she ended up becoming immune to poison. And then went against a poison dragon. But the dragon couldn't hurt her because the bites didn't hurt. And it couldn't poison her because she was immune. So she ate it.
Yeah,
She ate the dragon bit by bit and then became dumbass strong. Because no one had ever soloed the dungeon. So she got bonus points for that. She got points for doing it by herself and didn't have to split up the points. And then
bonus armor.
And then got a badass armor that was so broken that the game just came out. They nerfed her. The first update, they nerfed her. That's it.
They're like, we gotta update the game.
They said, what are we gonna update? They said, we need to nerf her. And they did. And it didn't do anything because she's just OP for no reason. And it's just a really funny show. It's a gag show, obviously. It's really funny, but there are some serious fights that happen. And it's really interesting to see how she goes. So if you want something that's not so serious, it's a lot of fun. You're going to have a fun time and just laugh most of the time at like how she gets shit done. Both ways.
Especially if you're a fan of RPGs.
Especially if you're a fan of
RPGs, you'll be like, this cannot be for real. Because never, in real life, we play games. When you fall asleep, you pause the game.
Right.
She fell asleep in the game, and that only helped make her stronger somehow. I'm not going to tell you how, but her falling asleep in the game made her stronger.
Yep.
Is it because she had more game time?
No.
Technically.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just watch the show. Is all I gotta tell you. It's a really good one.
I got a list. I'm writing down the ones that I find interesting.
Yeah, if you watch it, you're gonna enjoy it. It's really funny. Like I watched it on a whim, right? Because he told me it was funny. I was like, all right, cool. I trust Heed. I was like, Heed, I'm 6 episodes in.
Those are my favorite animes where I turn around and be like, am I almost done? Oops.
Right.
And it was so good that there's actually another show, I forget the title, but it's basically the exact same plot. Something about not trying to get hurt and maxing out your defense, but they title it slightly different.
Just like Buddy Dads.
Oh, don't talk about Buddy Dads.
You stop that because it's better.
I mean, sometimes the remix can be better, but we got to acknowledge that it's a remix.
Hey, what if we made the wife a man? I love it.
I love it.
Print it.
But they're also like, they know that like it's not the same. The child isn't psychic. They know that the other person is like not a bad person, but a secret agent person. Like it's not as like secretive. And
so what's your next rec? Give a damn about Buddy Dads.
Buddy Dads is good. It's not a suggestion, but it's good. So I'm gonna start going a little bit more serious as far as plot line. Greg put me onto a lot of anime. I give credits, I'm gonna give my flowers, and I'm gonna say Blue Exorcist.
I did, and that was a good one. That one, see, you talking about Air Gear made me mad, Blue Exorcist made me mad. They had so much potential. So much.
It's coming back. It's back. It's coming back.
It's not gonna be the same, and you know it. It's not. It's not going to be 2008 Blue Exorcist.
Well, you don't know that. Look what Bleach did. It came back and did phenomenal job.
What is Blue Exorcist about?
Thank you, Heath. Someone got to keep us on track. Good job. Where's my little buttons? Hold on. Where are my little clappity claps at?
That was good. Here, I got it. He gets a fan. So Blue Exorcist is about a kid named Renji, and he finds out that he's the son of the devil, and that he's been living with a stepfather figure for this entire life, and his seal, we'll call it a seal, is now gone. The seal that was keeping his devil power suppressed is now gone. So he has to learn how to control them, but he wants to use those powers to defeat the devil because the devil kills his dad. This is all first episode stuff, so I'm not giving any spoilers. It's a great
the occupation of his dad.
Yeah, you didn't explain Jack.
My bad. The adoptive dad is an exorcist.
There we
go. He goes to school to learn exorcism.
But in anime fashion. It's not your normal exorcist. It's not
Yeah,
your
it's
normal
not.
exorcist at
It's an
all.
anime exorcist, which makes it a lot of fun. He has a twin brother, so that also helps complicate the story. And he meets a lot of friends who were affected by his literal birth, like his birth night. I think it's called the Blue Night. It's called the Blue Night or Blue
I cannot
Saturday.
remember, but
It's
I know
called the
what you're
Blue
talking about.
something. Blue. It's blue. The problem is the blue.
I think it was the
And
Night of the
who's
Blue
affected.
Flame, actually, something like
The
that.
night of the blue flame. Good job. Thanks for pulling that back. That was the night of his birth, right? Yeah, that was the night of him and his brother's birth. And it has affected a lot of people. And he feels bad about it, semi responsible, but also wants to help fix it because he wants to defeat the devil. I highly recommend it. It starts off with a bang, which always is my way of suggesting a anime to somebody. I believe in the 3 episode rule, but I really appreciate an anime that can give a good twist in the first episode, or a good, like, oh shit, I need to keep watching in the first episode,
Mhm.
to kind of a good hook in the first episode, which it does. Because like I said, the dad dies in the first episode, so yeah. So, Blue Exorcist, highly suggest.
Agreed.
I'll take it.
That's definitely a sleeper on my list. It's not on my list, but like on my list of Rex. Super good, really good action, really good story, great character development. Um,
Great character development.
and honestly, you can get some really good cosplays out of Blue Exorcist if you really wanted to work it.
I should do one. I'm
The
gonna
the
start
chick
doing
with the red
cosplay.
hair, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's bad. I might have to find some space on my leg for her.
You got to just stop getting people as big.
No, because then I can't appreciate
You can
their
just get it
their
3/4 of the
their
size. You can
booty.
get literally the same. Never mind. What's your next suggestion?
I was entertained.
Am I
Um,
the problem?
Yeah,
let's let's do this. Flip a coin, heads or tails.
Heads.
tails.
Useless. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
Tails.
Okay, so Oran Host Club. That's what we're
Oh.
going with.
I want to say
I got
something before you go.
yeah.
I'll talk about his choice.
I'm mad only because for some reason I don't know why I didn't enjoy the show, but I watched the whole thing.
That is me in Excel world. I absolutely hated every second of it.
Like, it's not a bad show. It's just one of those shows that wasn't for me. But I watched
Yeah,
the whole thing, so that should show you this is very watchable.
Just
yeah.
didn't enjoy it. Just torturing your masochist.
It wasn't like it
I
was
mean,
torture to watch. It was
yeah.
just a really easy watch, is what I would
I
say.
think that's how I ended up watching it, honestly. It's because what Oran Host Club is about, mind you, I'm trying to lead y'all towards some more like school realm things,
Mm-hmm.
high school parody, whatnot. Um, so Oran Host Club is about a girl who she goes to this very rich school, and she's not up of the upper echelon. She's just there as a student. She stumbles across this host clubs, which is essentially like a maid cafe, but for guys. I mean, guys are the
It's for
maids and they
girls,
dress
yeah.
up
So,
for
like,
girls. Yeah,
gentlemen,
maid cafe for girls.
I'm here to
Yeah,
serve you.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm
So
in.
she stumbles into that. She's wandering around, and on her way out, because she's such a klutz, she knocks over a vase. Apparently, the vase costs $8 million, or 8 million won or yen.
Yen.
Regardless, it
It's
costs
yen.
a lot
It's
of money
Japan. It
that
costs a lot of fucking money.
a high schooler would not be able to afford. So the solution was the guys came together and said, well, you could just work here and pay off your debts at the club. And they're like, well, I'm a girl. It's like, it's fine. You look so boyish. We'll just put you in a suit and nobody will notice. And lo and behold, they dressed her up because it was a uniform school. They dressed her up like a boy, cut her hair a little shorter, and she acted like the
I
guys.
remember the first episode because she got gum in her hair and she was like, I was going to keep my hair, but I got gum in it at the end of the day, so we cut it. So she has a little
And it
boy
only helped. Yeah, it only helped. She had a low cut,
haircut.
and she was a fan favorite in the club. And obviously, because it's a romance high school love story anime, while she's working at this club, all the other guys are falling for her. Now, from the outside looking in, people think they're falling for a guy, but everyone in the club knows it's a
It's a
girl.
girl. And what's funny is it just made the girls want to come more.
Yeah, yeah. Orin Host Club. I don't know how to spell Orin.
Oruan.
Yeah.
It was I say I didn't like it, but it wasn't bad. Like it's
Yeah.
obviously via the plot, it just wasn't for me. It was
Yeah.
a show that I was easily able to watch. Like I back then, my 3 episode rule was if you make it past 3 episodes, continue to watch. And it was one of those shows that, like I said, it's so easily watchable. I look up, I'm on episode 4, and I'm like, I don't feel like watching this anymore, but I made it here. Fuck it.
Pretty much.
So rule is if you watch 3 episodes and you don't feel like you're into it, just let it go. It's okay. You tried.
Yeah, that's fine too.
But I do recommend it. I think that is a good one, especially for the ladies. And my LGBTQ plus people. That's a really good one for y'all. Y'all will enjoy that. I promise.
Mind you, it came out in 2006, so it was a different era, but it does fit into that category anime, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what I've noticed about anime and just Japanese culture in general? Like, it has a lot of LGBTQ plus representation. Like, I was watching Mashal, and in the second season, they referred to a guy, like one of the characters, as them the whole time. And then I was like, they keep saying them. And then, of course, because it's a funny anime, when they were like, he was like, the them, I'm sorry, yeah, the them said something about something my female intuition, and then the one of the little main group character was like, I'm wondering this whole time. So their heart is a she. Got it. And I was like, me too. Thank you, show. For acknowledging that we all been trying to figure this out. We all had the same question.
That is so funny. All right.
So, Greg, before you jump in,
yeah, I got you. I'm just looking at my list to pick which one I want off of it.
Okay. So
yeah, I just like that they said.
Yeah. Sorry. A theme across a lot of anime, even older ones. Now they more of like not emphasize, but they let you know like, hey, this person's gender ambiguous. But back in the day, they used to just have a guy that looked very much like a girl, would wear girls' clothes, but everyone acknowledged that is a boy still.
Example. Assassination Classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a boy the whole time, if you didn't know.
It is a boy.
Hope you didn't whack it to that one, buddy.
We had a whole episode where
Wait, what? What do we have an episode on? Because you didn't say that in the right sequence. I just want you to know that. I said, hope you didn't whack it to that, buddy. Then you said, we had a whole episode on that.
No,
you gotta
on him being a girl.
Oh, God.
But he's not a girl because he's a boy, but like was tricking somebody into thinking that he was a girl. Whole episode.
All right. Well, now we're going to get mine. And mine is going to be an all-time favorite of mine and many. And that I say gets you immediate anime respect. Death Note. Simple.
I'll take it off my list.
Why? Because Death Note is, for this, I'm getting into my more serious ones. I gave you two funny. I'm going to get this middle one that's suspenseful more so. It's technically classified as a shonen because the target demographic was teenage boys. However, it's more of a suspense show and a mystery show, if anything.
If you like SVU,
if you like any Law and Order, SVU, stuff like that, cop shows where you try to figure out the killer, you're gonna like this because it's from the perspective of said killer, and try to figure out his plot the whole time. You'll never get it, but you should definitely try, because basically the plot of Death Note is this borderline genius high schooler gets this book called a Death Note. If you write anyone's name in it, in 44 seconds they will die of a heart attack, or if you specify the reasoning, time, date, and method, they'll die in that way, or the closest way to that, right? This guy gets this, and essentially he already had damn near a god complex, but now he really has one. It's like, I'm going to make the world pure by writing this book and killing off all the bad in the world. And the story is essentially about his crusade against evil, as he's going around and killing people while there's a detective agency who's actively trying to catch him. And it gets in not a bunch of hijinks, because hijinks kind of implies comedy, but it's a bunch of sticky situations that this guy gets into, and you got to see how he either gets caught or gets out. And every twist and turn will have you kind of like, And we get the most
And
iconic scene.
yeah, and the anime of it it makes everything that much more intense.
Oh
Like
yeah,
those
I'll write a
those moments
name,
when you're holding your
and
breath,
then
thinking something about to happen, it's even more intense because it's like the music and they obviously dramatize it more. It's really good.
I'll write a
Yeah, I
name,
had it
and
on the list.
then I'll eat a chip.
A chip.
Ha ha.
Yeah, it's like it's
Chip,
got the
ha.
craziest music behind it, and you're just like, yeah,
Like
chip. Oh my god.
like y'all won't get it, but when you get to that scene, because he's being watched, so he's like, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna just do it better. And like he really is very smart. He's often in talks of with the top, yeah, top smartest anime people.
Yeah, he's
People try to
he's
say he got caught at every turn, but in reality, he didn't, and he got away with it just how he should have. The only
yep,
reason he failed is because of his hubris.
yep.
So
and
Yeah.
and yeah, it talks on a lot of it talks on a lot of deep concepts like what is actual evil, who
yeah,
is evil.
who gets to
That comes down to
determine it?
perspective.
Like when does what he's doing become worse than all the people he's killed? Like
Right.
where's the line? Is kind of the
Right.
question.
Yeah. For me, that was one of the first shows that I've ever watched where I had to recognize the protagonist and the antagonist are not always the good and evil.
Right.
The protagonist
Yeah,
is not always the good guy, and the antagonist is not always the villain.
Yeah,
yeah,
because the antagonist was technically the good guy,
yeah.
Yeah.
but seeing the show from that perspective was awesome. Like the whole show was great, and there's very little downtime where you'll kind of be like, "Oh, this is dragging." Most of the time, you're either waiting for something to happen or something just happened, and we're moving right into the next one. They do time skips really well because
I
it
think
doesn't even feel like it took long, but the entire story takes 7 years.
that's the other thing. Like when it even when as soon as it starts to, I hate to say, feel like it's about to dragging, something is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then, or if you ever felt like, dang, that was boring, it flips that moment on its head, and you're like, oh,
Oh, I should have been paying attention.
I should have been paying attention. Like I missed all of this, or I missed this, I missed that. Um, like that scene. I'm really going to be really general. That scene where he's talking to the girl, you're like, dang, he's talking forever. Like,
See, and that you see
oh,
what she
it's
just
so
did there?
dumb.
The show is so specific. Just from hearing it, if you've seen it,
Yeah,
what scene she's talking about.
yeah. And then you just like, yeah, it does that a lot.
So
That's
definitely
actually funny you say that. That's me and Chris's next one because Chris likes it's not really a horror. It like Greg said, it's
suspense.
suspenseful, but it's a great anime if you want to go down that route, that horror seinen and that route. It's a great starter
All
there.
right, you're
I
back
mean, it's
up
a great
again.
starter in general, but if you want that one.
Absolutely, but you're back up again.
I am back up again. So I'm trying to stay away from like ones that people actually like know. So I'm gonna
Same.
go with Black Lagoon. I'm pretty sure Greg referenced Black Lagoon to me. And I know Greg's making a face like, it's really anime.
No, no,
It's
no.
adult.
I'll explain why. Go ahead. Get
Okay.
your shit off. I got you.
It's adult. It is not for, I do not suggest this to children. I mean, no child should be listening to our podcast anyway, but like I do not suggest this.
But
Like,
a
oh,
parent
my
might take it
kids.
to their kid like, "Oh, you said you
Yeah.
wanted to get
Oh, my
anime."
kids like
Yeah,
anime.
I got
Don't
you.
no. No.
Black
No, no,
Lagoon
no.
is for like teenagers. If
It
you're
is for
14 or
teenagers.
older, you can watch Black. It's nothing
Yeah.
sexual that happens. It's just more
It's
adult
very violent.
themes, is all.
It's adult
Yeah.
themes. It's very violent. So Black Lagoon is about this guy named it's not really about Rock, but if you're watching the anime, it's about Rock. About this guy named Rock who gets introduced to basically the underworld of living. It's the city called Romanipur, and the people are bad people. We're talking the mafias, we're talking your gangs, and it's a city where violence thrives. And it's him integrating into this city through the Black Lagoon delivery company. This company does deliveries for all of them. They do jobs for everybody. They deliver drugs, money, people, whatever it has to be. They do their
They're
job.
pirates, is how it's
Yeah.
described. Modern day
And
Rock
pirates.
is
So don't think like we're
modern
on a
day part.
pirate ship and it's 1800.
No.
No, like we drive in motorboats and we have rocket launchers type shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it tackles like his conflict of being like your normal everyday businessman to now working for and with these people who don't have morals, who don't see life the same way, who don't give a fuck really. Um I have a tattoo of Revy on my leg. Like I really like I suggested to people who want something really high action. And I also like, because I have ADHD, their storylines are over quick. Like each kind of storyline or
Like three,
mission
four
is like
episodes.
it's really like 2 episodes each. It's like
Yeah.
you get introduced, and then like you get
Rising
end on a
action,
climax, and you
climax,
finish.
and falling.
Mm-hmm. So it really gives you a lot, and you learn a lot about a whole bunch of different characters, and you get to meet some fun people, but you get to know about the main crew of characters a lot too. So that's my suggestion if you want something that's like really action packed, but a little bit more mature. Like it doesn't have those comedy. I mean, it's funny to me, but not in the way, but not in like ha ha ha. That was cute. It's more like, oh, like ha ha ha. I'm gonna say this, a masochist type funny. So, but if you want to watch something that's a little bit more mature,
He looks
but
like he's
also still
asleep.
an anime, it's good.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to read my next
His
point.
handwriting.
Yeah. Trying to
Trying
figure
to
it
read his
out.
own handwriting.
But yeah,
What was the
I
face?
made the face because it's a great show, right? I like it. I've liked it enough to recommend it to someone. It's a great show. I don't think that's for everybody though. I think it's for a specific amount of people who like action or who like deep concepts and don't mind. You have to like action is how I would
Yeah.
preface that. There is
Oh, for sure.
action, there is gore, there is some hard things to talk about. Like I'm pretty sure they talk about slavery, like the active slave trade or human
Yep.
trafficking. Like that's a whole episode.
Nazis.
So
You
like,
may have to bleep that word.
huh?
I said Nazis. You may have to like.
No, you don't have to believe that.
Edit.
But
I don't
they
think I
talk
said
about that stuff too. Like it's a lot of harder concepts because, like we
Mhm.
said, it's his integration. So guns and drugs, that's not that big of a problem in him. Like he's uncomfortable, but when it gets to like people and organizations that are controlling areas and killing people, that's when it like the main character
Chill
starts to
time.
weigh on him, and like that's what they
Yeah.
focus in on and lock in on. Like you can't live both lives, nigga. Choose. That's
Yeah.
essentially
You
what
have
the
to
show
Well,
pick.
boils down to.
You can't live.
the main character, he's really just a plot device
Right.
to
Yes.
introduce us to their world in the series and also to represent us thinking in the show.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because honestly, I would argue that the main character is Revy.
yeah, I was
Right. The main character is Revy, but
But
we
we
follow
see Revy
we
from
through
Rock's
Rock's
perspective.
perspective. Right. We don't experience it through Revy. We experience it through Rock, who would be us. It would be like if one of us got plucked and put into this situation.
Right.
no 100%.
Yeah.
So I
But
agree. It's a good show though.
I do highly suggest it if you want something that's just a little bit more mature. Like we've talked about the funny. It's definitely on a more mature note. Um, it's like if you like something like the Expendables, like that's a movie that comes to mind that has just a lot of like gunfire and like fighty scenes,
Right.
but like the Expendables with meaning instead of just I'm just gonna go shoot up this club because shots, or like John Wick with meaning. Me, I'm not saying John Wick don't have no meaning, but
But
it's
just
more than they killed my dog.
Fair. It is. It's more like I have
It's more
childhood
than
trauma.
yeah. It's like I have childhood trauma. So yeah.
Heed you're up.
fair. I'm just trying to show my range here. So
Ooh.
you would never think I would say this. Carol and Tuesday.
I would
I've
never
heard
think
of
you
it.
would say that.
Everybody who loves it. Everybody loves it
Yeah,
who's ever seen it.
it's a good one. So Carol and Tuesday is so first of all, it's based on Mars. That's not really super relevant to the plot, but it's just 50 years in the future and people live on Mars and AIs and super high tech stuff. They actually reference Space Dandy, Greg. You wouldn't know that, but they were watching it on the show.
I love that
Um,
show. Space Dandy wouldn't recommend it to everyone. That's like a mushroom trip, honestly, of a
yeah,
show. It's fucking hilarious though. It doesn't make any sense. It's hilarious though.
but it's Mushroom Trip Cowboy Bebop. That's what Space Dandy is in a
Yep.
few words. Um, but yeah, they were watching it. Anyways, The show is about two girls, one named Carol, one named Tuesday. And reading through it just now, I realized that's really sad. But so Carol is a part-time working girl. She's really trying to get her music career off the ground and just not finding that person to get her there or that match. And the other girl, Tuesday, is a wealthy, rich girl who's kind of looking for her purpose in life and she wants to do music too. So these two stumble upon each other. I thought it was interesting that the rich girl was the blonde, blue eyed, and the working one was the black Hispanic girl. Anyways, um, it's really just a show about these two girls coming together and trying to get their music career off the ground. And you're starting from like them starting to get known, going to like them doing bigger things and being more known in the area and on the planet. It's a nice feel good story about these two. Very warm and heartfelt. Not a lot of action, but if you like, adorable music and watching girls become great, I think it's a good watch. Again, something I have range. I try to tell people I have crazy range.
I don't. Zero range. No, I
Stay
have
in my
I got a
box.
little bit. I'm mid range. I'm a mid range guy. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have a lot of range because like I've asked people for recommendations, but like I usually keep it to certain stuff. My next one, because the new season's coming, I have to recommend this. It's a part of my greats. So I'm going back to comedy because I got a couple like sleeper ones that I'm gonna just throw in. But my sleepers, I'm just saying this, prefacing it. My sleepers are more known ones already, so I didn't feel the need to say them. I feel like a lot of people who you talk to will throw these at you, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, everyone says that." My goal with my list was to give you things you might not hear about often, right? No Game,
Okay.
No Life. That one is a great comedy, and it's a great mind game. So anyone who likes, like, if you like card games, board games, just playing like Mario Party with your friends and stuff, basically the premise of the show, and it does have a decent amount of fan service. I didn't like all the fan service because it was, I'll get into it, but
It
it
took away from the plot.
yeah, it took away it wasn't tasteful fan service per se, right? I like tasteful fan service. That's either it goes with the story or it adds to the plot that makes sense. Otherwise it's like, this is just here. But the point of the story was that this brother sister duo who are the best gamers in the world get pulled into a world, get isekai into a world of gaming where gaming is everything. Gaming make the rules. If you beat a king in a game, you can win his country. That happens in the first episode, actually. So they become the kings and queen of humanity, which is just humanity. And they find out that there's 13 races in this world, and each race has a piece. And if you have all the pieces, you can challenge God to a game. These two people are the best at games ever, without cheating. And their goal is now, they're like, oh, humanity is rated the lowest because we don't have any special abilities, hyper
So
intelligence, nothing like that.
just to add to the 13 pieces, right? To give context, the 13 pieces represent the 13 chess pieces that exist on the board.
Right,
Humanity is the pawn.
right. That has its own meanings, but yeah. So yeah, but the point is, like, they're the show's about them going forth and starting to challenge all of these other countries to beat them in games, and like they don't know anything about this world, so like they're going into this blind and learning how to play and beating these other countries at these high stakes ass games because they're just that fucking good. Example, there was one game, one of my favorite episodes was the word game. And it's a game where basically you say a word and a person has to say a word that starts with the last letter of yours. But the twist was in this game, whatever word you say appears. And if it's already there, it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say air, there's no air in the room. But you have to say something with an R. But you can't because there's no air. And it takes vibration to make sound. But stuff like that is how they win. They use their knowledge of science from the real world in this world to beat them out, even though they have magic and shit. So it's a really good one. It's a really good comedy. It makes you think, and that's just one of those shows that you can just sit down and enjoy. It's really funny.
last one is opposite end of the spectrum. This show is for adults. Like, I do once again, let's say high school and up. It's gonna be Gangsta. I think this show is I love a female writer. I do. I love a female writer. So Gangsta is about another look. I like shows that are like in cities that are run by violence. It's in a city that's run by three families, three basically mafia families, and it follows these two main characters. One is a Twilight, and that just means somebody who is born with this dependency on this drug, but because of that dependency, they have superhuman like characteristics. So they're faster, stronger, better, but they don't live as long, and they all of them typically have some type of, they call it a it's not called a balance. It's something like that. It's called a I'm gonna go with the word balance. A balancer. Like in the case of the main one of the main characters, he's deaf. So like that's what he like kind of lost
Defect.
to give him all of these superhuman like abilities. And it's following them who they're this neutral party in all of this. So they do cleanup work when people from outside of town try to come in and mess stuff up. They do deliveries for people, like for the head families and stuff like that. um it's all shrouded in mystery of how and why they're now in this city, and they're trying to help out this girl who was a prostitute. And so they're helping out this girl who's a prostitute who somehow is relates back to them, and it tackles stuff like racism. I'm not doing a good job describing it now that I think about it because it's really good. But it tackles stuff like racism with Twilights versus your natural born humans, because the way the city is broken up into three factions. One family doesn't fuck with Twilights at all. They want them exterminated. Another family, kind of in the middle, doesn't really matter. Like either way, like they have Twilights, they can do with or without. And the third family, oh, I'm sorry, it's four families. The third family
Hand
explicitly
raise.
helps Twilights, and then the fourth
Yeah.
family
Hey,
is
you can tell me
Twilight.
this. Is that is that where that one clip comes from where the dude is boxing the guy up and he just shoots him like 4 times in the stomach?
No,
Are you talking about the
that is
stick people?
No. It's a similar thing.
Mm-mm.
The dude,
Mm-mm.
he breaks his arm, he beats him up, and then he breaks his arm, and then he's getting ready to box him some more, and the dude just shoots him like 3 times.
You got to find the clip for me, then I can tell you what
I'm
it
gonna
is.
send it to you.
Okay,
All right,
that no,
but
and I'm gonna tell you no.
yeah, I know it's not that, but I'm curious to where it is.
Yeah.
But Diva, I get where you're going with this. It's a show. You got to add that the show is based in a 1930s type era,
Yeah,
right?
it's based in like, is it 1930s? I feel like it's a little later than that.
I don't
Think
know if
like,
they're on the same kind of like our timeline,
yeah,
but the like just the style of the city, the people, and the characters is
yeah, and
1930s.
I feel like it's more like 70s. I'm gonna give it 70s, like
Okay,
very much Vietnam time war,
okay.
like post Vietnam. If we had
Okay,
to,
I was about to say
yeah.
Vietnam was earlier than that, wasn't it?
Uh,
Mm,
no, in
no,
Vietnam
I
like in the
didn't do
80s.
well in history, so y'all could
Tom was in
100%
the
be right.
70s.
I'm gonna double check though.
You played
Okay,
Black Ops 2 though.
you played Black Ops 2 though.
Fuck, that
That's
got to do. I ain't
crazy.
serve.
It's a crazy way of saying you should know your history. You played Black Ops.
I mean, you should.
But
60s,
so I feel like
70s.
I'm doing a bad job describing it, but it's because it's so complicated. It's about, it tackles
Yeah, I
war.
was right.
What was it?
55 through 75.
55,
Shut up.
55 to 75. So I said post Vietnam 1970s. I did that right. I just
Be at
want to let
the
y'all
end
know.
of Nam.
I
You
did it.
know,
I
I,
said
I would
post.
I would still be serving back in Nam.
But it does a good job. So you meet the two main characters, and they're like working, they're doing running a case for the police, and like everyone is corrupt in their own way. And I'm trying not to give away the big surprise, but basically turmoil is breaking out. Somebody is, the city that they live in was made for Twilights. essentially. Like it was made to collect all the Twilights and put them all there, and eventually they would all die out. But because Twilights have a use militarily, people move to the city. They use Twilights. They pay them, and so it becomes this like actual city of just crime and drugs and sex and whatever. And now someone's like the story starts with someone is taking out Twilights and we don't know why. And eventually you learn why and who. And obviously this affects the two main characters because one of the characters is a Twilight. So I find it really good. It is very adult themed. I don't suggest it for children. I mean, we're like prostitutes, drugs, sex, money, guns, swords, blood, all that great stuff. Highly suggest gangster. And it's about gangs. So who doesn't love gang violence? In
Yeah.
TV, not
All
in
I
real
was about
life.
to say all of America.
In TV, in your shows.
He
I think
Um, so yeah.
for Ben to two that you might want to get into, definitely 91 Days. If you like gangsta, 91 Days will probably be up that alley. Bungo Stray
Okay.
Dogs, sort of not really.
I've heard a lot about Bungo Stray Dogs. I have not.
91
Um,
Days, I think you would like. If you really like gangsta, you would like that. And Greg, you would like it too because it's a story of revenge, and who loves a good revenge tale? Um, so I was
you
teetering with my
mean
last.
revenge? No.
That's your last one, I bet, ain't it?
No, it's not.
it better not.
Um,
That'll be on
it
my
better not.
recommendation list though.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so my last one's gonna be this one where it's banned in several countries. Oh no. My last one's definitely gonna be so my wife got turned into a kindergartner. Soup.
What you watching? You need to tell
I'm,
us something. You can tell
I'm
us.
kidding. For the record, that is a real anime this year. Um, we won't get into it. But my
Mm-hmm.
actual last one is this is what I give to people because if you like this, you can always reach out.
Just making
You can
sure you're not
always
gonna say
reach
nothing
out to
crazy
me
now. That's it.
because this is a very niche thing, and then a lot of people I know don't pay attention to this genre, but I think it's very interesting because it's very political most of the time. And the last recommendation I'm going to give is Gurren Lagann. So Gurren Lagann is a mech anime. It's an oldie. It's a real classic. Um, a lot of people kind of know about it, don't really know about it. Like they might have known the theme song because it was real catchy, but it's a overall this plot line is about mankind striving for greater heights. Just keep working towards bettering mankind as a whole and not being boxed into what is apparent to them. As far as a quick synopsis, I think I would just explain the first episode. So humans live underground. They live in underground cities. It's very limited resources. They dig around and get by. Our main characters are going to be Simone and Kamina, which is his older brother, quote unquote. Simone is a very shy, quiet kid. He just likes to stay in his hole and just dig. He likes to dig around. One day, he stumbles upon this giant head, which is actually the head of a mech. And Kamina is a real pragmatic guy. I would say I guess Naruto, Commander Irwin, Luffy type character. Like people gravitate towards his energy. Um, Kamina and Simone find this mech. They go on a crazy adventure in the town. They end up breaking through the what they thought was the sky, which is actually just the surface. So now they're on the surface. They find out the surface is ruled by beastmen. Beastmen like to keep humans enslaved, not enslaved, but in controlled populations. Like they don't want their numbers to grow too big. And so the story is about Simone, Kamina, and this girl they meet with a big ass gun on the surface named Yoko, and about how they are fighting for human rights, humanity as a whole. And they gather allies, they get better mechs, bigger robots, and they're trying to fight their way to the Beastmen capital because they're going to punch the ruler in the face, dethrone him, and make sure that humans can thrive the way that they were meant to. Um, I will say it's not a spoiler, but the second half of the show humanity thriving, and now they're looking towards space. So now they got to go fight the real bad who's in space. So they travel through the galaxies to find the big bad who really was trying to keep humans down because he didn't like their potential to grow because he was afraid of what they could be. Um, it is a lot of fighting with the mechs outside of the mechs, real political kind of show. But I think if you can get into the mech type of show, like it's a definitely a great world because a lot of mech shows, like you get that action from the robot fights, maybe some hand to hand combat, but overall, like it's one of those thinking kind of shows. Like you get to think about different type of democracies or political systems and how they interact and how they would appear on grand scales, maybe galaxy, universal, or smaller country ones. So I usually use that as a segue to get people into Mobile Suit Gundam, which I'll save for another thing. But yeah.
So I'm gonna go with my last. It's two. It's a twofer. The one
Too.
is that one I told you is like specific black people. I recommend that you all watch this. This one, and I'm like I told you, I was gonna give you all the cutesy ones because I'm gonna get to my gory ones and my psychological ones now. Afro Samurai. Watch it. It is not long. It is amazing. The voice acting, great. The action, amazing. The story, great. And then I believe there's a movie that's like the part two of it. Um, it is so good. And it's not that long. It's so good. It's a classic, honestly. Samuel L. Jackson's even in it. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But really good watch. Literally what it sounds like. It's a black guy, he's a samurai in the world they live in. The person who holds the number one headband is the strongest in the world and can only be challenged by the person who holds the number two headband. His father was the original owner of the number one headband and was beaten, and now he wants revenge. He was a child when it happened, and the dude said, "Look, when you're strong enough, come back and get me." Afro's
And
now
anyone
grown
can
ass
challenge
man.
the number two.
Anybody can challenge the number two, but only the number two can challenge the number one. So
Mhm.
Afro, being a child, learned swordsmanship, had a hard life as a child too, but once he got big and strong, it starts with him. The show starts with him with the number two. He is the number two, and niggas is challenging him, and you get to see how Afro be getting down. And it's just the show's just about him trying to get back to the mountain that he used to live on to fight the number one, so he can avenge his father and claim the number one headband. It's really good. A lot of action, lots of gore. If you're squeamish to gore, back away. It ain't for you. But it's so good. It's such a good show. That's the black people specific. I want all y'all to watch that, period, point blank. But the other one, another one, gory one, and I can only recommend the first season, Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is so great psychologically speaking.
Yes.
Is so great psychologically speaking. It really explores that concept of how far will you go to save someone before it's harming you, and how much can you take when it harms you. Tokyo Ghoul is about basically in this world Japan is like ours, except there are these things called ghouls and they eat people, and they're running rampant. And there's a
And they can only
division.
eat people.
Yeah, they can
Even if
only
they
eat people.
even if they didn't want to, they can't
Nothing
eat
tastes
human
good.
food.
Everything else tastes like literal shit to them. So they can only eat people. So
And drink tea.
so what they end up learning is or not learning, but there's a government task force that kills them and dispatches them, but they're in hiding for the most part, and they look like normal people until they start eating people. Then their eyes turn red. They got these tentacle weapons that come out of their back that are harder than steel. Their skin's harder than steel, so you can't just kill them. Our main character, Kaneki, gets into a run-in with a ghoul. It dies, but the doctors save his life by putting the ghoul's organs in him, and it ends up making him a half ghoul, which has never been done before. So now
Never been
Kaneki,
done
once
before.
human, is he has this problem that he's now a ghoul and he can't even eat normal food. And it's about him adjusting and trying not to hurt people. And then along with trying not to hurt people, how he gets wrapped in with the entire ghoul world and actually becomes a large part of it.
Yep.
Because of who he is, he has to suffer a lot. And I will warn you guys, trigger warnings for the show, torture is involved, lots of blood, lots of guts, and cannibalism, I guess, technically. So I want to warn you guys of those. But that being said, it is an amazing show. It explores very good psychological aspects of like what it means to suffer, what it means to sacrifice, and what it means to do both. Um, I only say to watch season 1 because after season 1 they started deviating from source material to the point where you lose a lot of the concepts and them trying to write faster than the show was being written.
Yeah.
So I would recommend you read it from there on out because it is such a good one. Even if you don't want to read it and just listen to someone reading it, do that. It is so good. Like I think
You
I
can listen
showed
to someone
Heed.
read it.
I showed Heed
Who's
to see.
reading it that I can listen to?
It's a guy who reads everything and does the voices for it all. Like he voice acts it. There's a scene. The scene I showed you. I'm a ghoul. Cause
Yeah.
he didn't even know about this one scene. It's way down the line. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit, so cover your ears for about 10 seconds. But it's a scene where he's fighting one of the big bads, and he's out of energy, out of stamina, and he needs to eat. And like the chick's like, "Eat, you need to." And he's like, "You're right." And he accepts the fact finally. He's like, "I'm not even half ghoul. I'm a ghoul. Period." And he crushes his face and eats it. Ah!
You scared Diva off.
I
She said,
scared
I don't
Diva
even want
off.
no
You feel
more.
me?
No, I left because I was mad. How dare you? You seen me post like 10 times last week. Where can I get someone to read me manga? I need it to be read to me because I'm dyslexia.
He
Please
doesn't read
help.
everything.
And you
He reads
ignored
that one. So example. So I will say this because there are people who I have watched. Example, part 1 of Chainsaw Man, because it's long as fuck and I didn't feel like reading every page. I had that read to me because part 2 is about to come out. There's a guy who does a complete reading and synopsis of all of part 1 of Chainsaw Man. It's like a 40-minute video, and he gets from point A to point B, giving you all the key points. He reads some of the lines, all the dialogue and stuff like that. He gives it to you. He gets through quick. He gives explanations. Some of the pictures are a little animated. He gets through all that in 40 minutes so you can be ready for part 2. Because I was like, I just finished like the Rize arc, and I was like, I don't feel like reading the rest of this. So I just listened to the rest of it, and I was ready for part 2 because part 2 had just started, and I was like, I want to be on time with part 2.
Send me that because I need that in my life. Because even if it's not the exact one I'm reading, if I could have manga read to me, I would get through so much manga. It took me forever. Y'all know how long it took me to read Yakuza Fiance? Forever. And it's not that long. I'm just slow. I'm a slow reader.
But that being said, definitely I recommend Tokyo Ghoul season 1 specific. You get all the good story context there. Read the rest because Route A, what the fuck, and then absolutely not. So
yeah, there's just a lot of context missing in there. So like you as a watcher can watch each episode and be like, am I missing something? I'm lost.
You are missing something. Yeah. I had to tell Heed at DreamCon, I was like, yo, did you never seen this panel? He was like, no, I've never seen that. And I'm like, yo, dog, this thing gets visceral at times.
Yeah, the anime creators just did their own thing to the worst degree.
Right. I think someone said they might try to remake it from.
I heard that too a while ago.
Oh, speaking of remakes, another one you might like is called Rama 1/2, and it's about a boy, I think, and he's good at martial arts, but something happened to him, so now when he gets splashed in water, he changes genders.
Oh.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like a real old one, and they're bringing it out in a couple weeks.
Just some quick fire ones. Like I said, I had a couple honorable mentions that like people are probably gonna mention on their own. Jujutsu Kaisen, highly recommend it. It's gotten so many awards for a reason. It's really good. I recommend you watch that.
Started that one on their own.
Huh? Oh
yeah. Started that one on their own.
Attack on Titan, once again, another one that got a ton of awards. Really great on its own. Great story, great action, great plot twist. Sometimes it can get a bit wordy, but worth the wait. Soul Eater. Was gonna say that, but lots of people recommend Soul Eater all the time. If you're any fan of Meg, you know she recommends it too. That one's really good. I still recommend reading it more, but if you watch it, it's still really good to enjoy. Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. Another really good action one. Lots of comedy in that one. That one's more comedy than action, but really good action when there is action. And then SAO, Sword Art Online, is my last one. Really good story, really good pacing. Another show I only recommend you watch season 1 of, because all the other ones. Season 2 is cool. Gun Gale Online, I like that one actually, but I didn't like anything after that. So
I also have one more. You mentioned some of the ones that I had, but it's not an anime, but we claim it. Avatar, I think, is a great
absolutely,
way. Like, if you're like on the fence about like anime, like you don't want to go completely Japanese or
I tell
something
you
like
what,
that,
I tell you what,
watch
I'll let you
that
put
and
that in here
you
as a
will.
transfer because
Yeah.
we should do a recommendation to cartoons because I've learned that there are
Yeah.
adults out here who are like, oh no, why would I ever watch cartoon? Dog,
Oh, we
let
should.
me
Let's do
tell
that.
you about
So
some cartoons that are gas.
all right. So take that off, and we'll do that. We'll do a recommendation
You
of like
if you watch
cartoons.
if you like watching like crime shows, Grey's Anatomy, what is that shit? The Bridgertons and all that shit, and
Mhm.
you're like, oh, I need to see real people. I have some cartoons that have adult themes that are
Yep.
gas. I have a
I have a
cartoon
couple.
that you could watch that doesn't even. There are no words in the entire show, and you would be
Really?
like, this is
Primal.
gas.
Primal.
That show is gas,
Oh,
I
Primal.
haven't seen
Yeah.
it, but I hear good things.
dog.
But yeah, so we'll
That
do that.
show,
We'll
Yeah,
I
do
was ready
a
to cry.
top shows.
Gas.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get
I
into
know
it.
I know a couple because I have grown to learn. I actually prefer things that are
I
animated. I
prefer
don't want
cartoons.
y'all.
I live
I
real life
don't
every day.
like seeing y'all like seeing people and actresses like that's cool or whatever. I don't get the exaggeration. Like real life is boring to me. Like I need the extraness that animation can give through expression, through stuff. And you're like, oh, actors can do it too. I bet they can. But like the fact that I think I know that that is my preference. I have a friend who has told me like, oh, I can't watch anime. She's like, I just can't get into the animation of it. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll tell you some animes that were trained that changed over really well that you can watch. It's not many,
That's
but
gonna be the
here's
next
one or
episode.
two.
Cartoon recommendations to get you into cartoons. That's why I'm gonna leave the recommendation section here because I think that's gonna be a fun one. I
That's
got
Yeah,
some cartoons that's gonna make niggas be
it.
like, "This is a cartoon? Yes, nigga.
Yeah.
This is a
Yes,
I don't
this
know.
is a show,
I
nigga."
have a couple.
I
I
might
have a
do some
couple.
research.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Like
Because that's what I
I already
prefer.
wrote 5, but I'm literally gonna go into the index and be like, "Nah, these are some shit." Let me lay it out for you right here, big dog.
Yeah,
These adult themes,
yeah.
but
Adult themes and more fun on your eyes.
yeah.
Ah,
All right. News because actually there was a decent amount of news, sad news. I got a new one on there like 20 minutes ago. Um,
20 minutes ago.
yeah, man. First,
I was
let's
asleep.
get out the RIPS, man. James Earl Jones, rest in heaven, King. As well, I didn't look up her name because I saw it just before I hopped on here for the pod. But the voice actor for Kushina Uzumaki also passed away.
Yeah, she was more known for Sailor Moon,
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter, I
Yeah.
believe. I'm going to get her name right now.
Please get her
'cause
name
she-
during our moment of silence and let us know what that is, baby. Because that was actually kind of
uh,
sad. James Earl Jones, he was old as shit though.
93.
93.
I know, right?
He
He
lived
lived a
a life.
long life. But I got something to say on that because people was making me mad on Twitter. But Twitter's a place where you go to get mad, obviously. But
But first, her name was Emi Shinohara.
all right, let's get a moment of silence for her really quick before I get into it.
Hmm.
All right, there we go. Good moment of silence. Rest in heaven, kings and queens. But what I wanted to say is Twitter made me mad because it was some chick who was like, James Earl Jones wouldn't have spit on a black woman if she was a blaze. So I mean, rest it. But thanks for Mufasa. Rest it. Rest okay, I guess. I was like, that made me mad because it's like, this nigga just passed away for one, and for two, let dead dogs lie. You feel me? Like you ain't had to do that. You ain't had to try and spit on this man's name. He ain't out here. Not in my knowledge, in recent times at the very least, just not slandering people. Like, and either way, he just passed away. Let the nigga just rest in peace. You don't gotta go slandering niggas' names as soon as they die. Like some people just so fucking bitter, dog.
It's like you're bitter and you want attention.
Absolutely.
And it's like I believe in never talking bad about the dead. Like
Yeah,
I ain't saying all the dead is good, but I don't talk bad about the dead because that stuff come back. They did. They can do stuff.
they can do stuff. Nigga said spooky ghosties gonna get me. They hear everything.
Like I fully believe in it, so I just don't. But it's also like it's not demure. I hate to use that word, but it's not. It's very tacky. It's classless. Like y'all
I
got
like the fact that I can look at the camera. You know, I be doing this. Y'all do that, Eddie? Y'all ever look at the camera after something crazy gets said? Like,
yeah, all the time.
okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. As long
And
as
I
y'all
just
know.
Yeah, it's
like
normal.
I know. Here's my thing about this girl. I know she don't know what a slip is. That's what that statement told me. That she don't know what a slip is.
I don't know
You
what a
don't need to
slip
know.
is.
It's not for you. Slips aren't for you.
Cool.
No.
As long as it
But
ain't for me, you know.
she don't know what a slip is. That's what that tells me. A slip, if you do not know, well, educate y'all. A slip is a garment you wear under your dress so that you don't get dress lines, you don't ruffle up. It's like a little, almost like a little nighty gown. You put it under your dress when you wear like tight
I'm trying to
dresses or
let you
something.
cook, but the food smell like it's burning. What does that
What?
have to do with anything?
It so see, this is how I know you're not on girl TikTok, like in girl world ever. So no one
I
wears
mean, I
slips anymore.
got some titty, but like the dick and balls is still here, dog.
A lot of women don't wear slips anymore. They just go out with their, I don't want to say their rolls, but like it also helps hide your undergarments. So like you wouldn't, if you have a slip on under a dress and your dress is a little bit more form
I can
fitting,
tell you
it
now, no,
hides
no,
your,
ain't nobody doing that.
you can't see your bra lines, you can't see your panty lines.
Why would I
And that
ever want that to happen?
you don't want them. Why would I want them hidden? Because that's trashy just to have them out.
So what you're
What?
saying is, Diva, that women of today are trashy. You heard it here, folks. Diva thinks women today are trashy little slut bags. You heard it here from her
Some of
mouth.
y'all, no, just because y'all don't know what a slip is and y'all don't use them or wear them. A lot of clothes now come with slips in them, which is nice. But like y'all not using y'all clothes to the best of y'all ability, and y'all be looking
Two
out here for
phones? Oh, you're double caught. That's 16K right there.
I don't
Talk
care.
about women more.
I don't care. I talk about y'all. Y'all come at me.
Oh my goodness. But I get you, but it just made me a little upset because it's like people always choose like you could have said this any time in his life. You could have said this when Mufasa was ready to come out. You could have said this any time, but you did it now. Like that's it just agitates me. Like I get if someone's a terrible person, like a fucking murder or something, that makes sense. But like
Sometimes silence is golden. That's what I have
yeah,
to say.
sometimes just shutting the fuck up. It don't cost a thing.
The world, the generations are cooked. Ever since the Kevin Samuels incidents, I just don't give anyone the benefit
So
of the
we need
doubt
to make
when
an
it's to another
Avatar
person.
intro where we talk about just being cooked. Warhammer 40K came out. Came out this past weekend, right? But the official release was yesterday. And how I've been describing it, I've only played like a few missions, but how I've been describing it is if Helldivers in World War Z had a baby, and that baby was just ready to box, because it is
Oh, I want to play
great.
that.
That game is
It's just
great, huh?
We can play
okay.
this weekend.
Yes, sir. Because it's really fun. Basically, the reason it's been getting a lot of hype is because one, the game just looks fun. The game plays very nice. It looks beautiful, and then on top of all that, it's one of those live service games that's actually going to work in my opinion, because you know how usually in live service games like they're like buy our battle pass and they'll like give you one
Yeah,
thing and then kind of like, oh, question mark, question mark, question mark, what more will you
yeah.
get with other seasons? No, they put the next 4 seasons out before the game came out.
Oh, damn. They said, look, this
They
is what
say
the
here's
version
my
of.
dick, it's heavy, bitch. Like, whoa,
I'm excited to
massive.
play this weekend.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to play this weekend.
You could play if you wanted to, but you just don't, dog.
I am. I'm gonna
Yeah,
play.
All
we
right,
believe
Chris
it.
has to buy it and you're gonna play.
Okay.
I'll record it. I swear to God.
Hmm.
See, she's such a bullshitter, dog. See how
College
women
first
just
game.
lie? Kevin Samuels was right. No, I'm kidding. But no, the game's really good. But along with it, the part that makes this live service so good, unlike other stuff, Warhammer 40K. One of the first books around, it was a board game first, but there were books around it that tell the stories of it, right? One of the first books came out, no bullshit, in like 87. Yeah, that's almost 40 years ago. There are books coming out today. There's almost 40 years of content that they can just do anything with.
It's insane. I didn't know that.
Shonen. Just kidding.
So that's why that's why the Warhammer crew is like happy as fuck. They're like, the game plays good, it looks good, it's got good PvP, it's got good PvE, the game's just fun. And then they're like,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
player versus everyone.
Shut up.
Don't talk in my class if you don't want to get pointed out.
Letting them know I know what you're talking about.
PvE, player versus everyone. That's when you and your friends are going against the computer.
Got
Great.
it.
Then PvP, player versus player. You can go against other Space Marines because in the lore, these niggas be fighting.
Oh, Space Marines 2 is another game series, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know they were connected.
Yeah. So that I'm just hype about it because I love it when games show that they have the potential for greatness and then are actually doing the work behind it. Yeah. So a lot of people are feeling this, are excited for it, are happy for it. I need to beat Wukong so I can put a bunch of fucking time in it. So since he said he'll get on this weekend, I think what I'll do is like I'll focus, like really hard focus beating Wukong this week. Because I'm only on the 3rd level. I got to get through 3 more. So I think I'll really hard focus Wukong. But I'm excited for where this game is going and excited to see what's coming. Yeah. That's just me nerding out about it. Because that's like, I don't think it's breaking records. Wukong broke records. But I don't think this one's breaking records. But I think it has the potential to do so. Since it only came out this past weekend. And I know niggas are about to be like posting about it like crazy. So.
For nerding out about stuff, I want to give a big shout out to Heat. Because he sent me something today that made me like, I audibly screamed at work.
Was it OpiCon?
Yakuza
I
Fiance.
hope it was OpiCon.
October 6th. So excited. It comes out. The anime. It's going to be on Crunchyroll. Don't bother me. I will be unavailable.
Is it
I don't care what day it is. I'm unavailable.
What is it?
Don is coming out soon.
Yakuza Fiance.
Oh. Dun 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 dun.
That intro does sound like
that song goes stupid, dog.
And Don is releasing October 4th. It's definitely going to be one of the next big anime in the game if you don't know, because it has that kind of fan base.
My prediction for next big 3 anime is Dandadan, Kaiju number 8, and Sakamoto Days. That's my prediction for the next generation of big 3, because Dandadan's got a lot of story. Sakamoto Days has a fuck ton of story. It's still going on right now. And then Kaiju number 8, where they're at, we haven't even figured out why the Kaiju exist. We're about to start getting into that.
Ooh, fascinating.
See.
So like,
I don't have any predictions right now. Because I've been looking, I hate to say it this way, but I've been looking back as far as anime. Like I've watched some more recent stuff, but I've really been trying to like tackle my anime watch list. I'm trying so hard to tackle it.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were still doing movies.
Any more news, Greg?
I'm sorry, yeah. Kendrick Lamar is scheduled to be at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. We get to hear more like They Not Like Us, boy.
Is the what?
Dog.
So
we get to ruin Drake's life even more than we already have. I'm so excited.
At this point, it's very calculated.
So calculated.
Does Wayne perform?
No. I think Wayne said he's not performing.
He's not. He wasn't like asked to perform. Was the storyline? And a lot of people are upset about that, which I can't
I
fully understand
Me and Twan talked
because
about it a little bit on the game, and we're like, in all honesty, Lil Wayne doesn't have many Super Bowl performable songs. If I sell out an arena, is Lil Wayne to a Lil Wayne concert, I can say whatever I want. But a televised event with women, children, and the young, there's gonna be a whole lot of silence on that stage.
I
the
was
thing is,
being messy with my "Does
Wayne,
Wayne perform"
Wayne don't
comment.
be remembering the shit he said in most
He
of
said
the
that in
He
an
songs.
does
interview.
not. He
He'd
he
be like,
does.
I said that. He said that was fire. Who's this? That's me. Like, nigga, what?
That
Yeah, he
I told y'all
actually
I'm not
has
gonna
to
say no
like
bad things about people
rehearse.
on the pod no more. I'm trying my best. Not this isn't a bad thing. It's more so like I think he's just like
Things about.
it's just that he's just done a lot of drugs is all. I think he's not cooked by any means. He can still spit a fucking bar like it's nobody's business.
Yeah,
But
He's
like,
in his 40s.
huh?
He's in his 40s.
he's old.
He
He's not
he's
old.
not
He's not as
old.
old
That's
as
the
you would
problem.
think. You remember he came out like early 2000. You would
Well,
think he's
I'll
old.
say he's old, but like I guess he's not. He's only 10 years older than me, right? 40. It's only
And he's been dropping music since you've been in what? Elementary school?
Doesn't matter. She's
yeah.
been wanting to bang him since she could.
Since I could.
Since
Since
the
I
kid.
could.
So gross.
But the thing about it is because I saw somebody post something which I believe to be true. They do ask the whole city like, you know, their opinion, and then on top of
Oh,
that, like people's like, oh, it's Wayne, it's he's from New Orleans, it's his city, which I always found weird because he's a Packers fan. But anyways,
he is a
um,
big Packers fan.
Just
the
because I'm
thing
from there
is,
don't mean I got like their team. The Saints haven't. Not to my knowledge, the Saints haven't been that good of a team in a long time.
right, but um, I lost my train of thought with that. I don't know. It's just like he's been a Packer fan all his life, and it's weird because he grew up in New Orleans, and there's
Yeah.
just no correlation there. So for that to happen, I don't know, but I love it for him. But the thing is, I would argue that early 2000s Wayne had so many hits, and I say that
Yeah.
because people are in such an uproar about it. But it's like you do realize the last time the Super Bowl was in New Orleans was in 2012, and he didn't perform there. Like, were people upset then? Probably not. So why are they upset now?
I
I
just heard
think
a song with him on it actually.
yeah, I think it's more so they're upset now because it's
I think it's because we're
it's
in the age of hate.
that and it's like the Twitter theories. It's like, oh, y'all are being more disrespectful to Wayne and Drake because y'all picked Kendrick in Wayne City, and Wayne and Drake are cool, and Kendrick don't fuck with Wayne, so that's why they did it to fuck with Drake. Like
I would love that
it's
even
like
more because that's even
it's
funnier. But
it's like it's one of those,
but
but it's not that. I mean, he's a Grammy award winning artist. I mean,
I think
that's who you get to do the Super Bowl.
I think it's because the hate era, honestly. The hate
Yeah.
era is taking over. Niggas don't like to talk about what they like. They like to talk about what they hate. And obviously,
Mhm.
people could talk about how they like the fact that Kendrick's going to be doing the Super Bowl, but I think more people would rather talk about the fact that they don't like that it's not Wayne in his home state.
Right, or don't like that it's Kendrick.
Yeah. So, like I said, also the Drizzy Drake gobblers is going to drizzle it up with their drool all over Drake's dingling.
They
All
only
over it.
give
That's what we
Kendrick
call
more energy.
alliteration. That's what
Good
it's
job.
known as, a
only give
literary
Kendrick
device.
much
You
more.
teaching today, huh? Should call you the professor,
Oh no, don't do
aka
that.
Greg the
I'm just
professor.
Google made human, you know. I just know things. Last news point I had is another gaming news point. The PS5 Pro has been announced. It is coming out November 7th at a price point of $700. $699.99. Will I be buying it? Absolutely not.
You talking about a handheld device?
I'm talking about a PS5 Pro. It's just a
Oh, the
faster,
slim one.
smaller, sleeker
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Okay, I'm not super at it.
I am at that point. So I'm only mad at it because the history of gaming consoles came from the idea of building PCs. You only got a gaming console because PCs were expensive. PCs, when consoles came out, would cost anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 for an okay to good one, right? I'm highballing,
Because
obviously.
you had to get a whole desktop.
Right. You had to get a desktop, laptop,
or
desktop, keyboard, mouse, computer,
Yep.
everything inside of it. I'm not going through the parts. I know them. I built mine. But that being said,
I know.
spending $1,500 for a new desktop, right? Or that can play a game, maybe more with good graphics cards, or $300 for this console.
Yep.
Makes sense. It just makes more sense to do that. The console's gonna last. I'm gonna be able to use it. I can play games, and then not all the same games that came on, the shit cartridges was gonna be on my computer. You feel me? It wasn't gonna be on disc, and that's fine. But now that we're moving into an era that most games either come out for PC, will come out for PC, or are PC, not PC exclusives, but PC and Xbox exclusives. At that point, in my head, I'm not paying $700 for a PlayStation just to say I have a fucking PlayStation and play PlayStation exclusives that in 2 years, they're gonna release it on a PC. Like, I could, if I wanted to, I could play God of War right now. I could download that off Steam. Let's be real. $700 is a okay PC that can handle most games. If I'm being real with you.
That's you could get I'm about to say you could get a laptop or a PC for that amount of same amount of money and do more things. Exactly. I can take my laptop places. Cannot take that PS5 anywhere.
I think we're reaching that point on the graph where it's PC gaming is going to be starting to get on the rise because only people that are going to buy it are not clout chasers specifically, but people who are just lazy about it. And clout chasers, and eventually being lazy is gonna hurt your pocket because you're gonna pay $70 or $700 for the thing, and then another $70 for every game. Versus let's say you just bought it on PC. Sales happen every fucking day, bro, and people have codes and ways to get it for the low. I'm not one of them, but people do. I know that. So knowing that, it's like people gonna start to look at you dumb when it's like, yo, you telling me you can't afford the game? I just bought it for $30, dog. Like,
question.
What's up?
But are people going to start looking at people dumb? Because I have learned that, and maybe the times will change, but in the time we live in now, the more money you spend, for lack of better words, the better you are.
So you realize
I dropped $1,000 on my studio. I must have an awesome studio.
No, I got you.
The studio isn't that great.
I'll follow it up with this. You know as well as I, there's a point where flexing becomes stupidity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Example, if a nigga came into work, right? The Tekken dopes I sent you? Mm-hmm. If a nigga came into work with those Tekken dopes on, it was like, yo, I got the new shits, bro. These shits cost me $1,200. But you go to his crib and there's an eviction notice. This flex is no longer cool. You're just dumb.
Yeah.
You're just wasting money. You feel me?
That's fair.
But if you can do it and afford it, so be it. It's not a flex to me. You can, and that's when that's what starts to change it, when it's no longer a flex. You feel me? People stop acknowledging it as a flex and just start to kind of look at you like, good for you, buddy. I'm not envious of you. I feel bad for you. Because I know you, I want better for you, friend.
But they don't want better for themselves.
And I can't make you want better for yourself. Like, if I pull up with this do-rag on, right? It cost me like, I think $7, $10 at DreamCon. $10 for this. And someone come up there's got like little gold foil in it. They spent $400 on it. So all the hats got gold foil instead of just looking like that. Yo, I spent $700 on this, dog. Like, it's lit. I be like, okay. I don't know what to tell you. I want better for you because that could have. If you got it, spend it. I'm not gonna tell nobody how to spend their money.
Yeah.
But if you doing that, don't expect me to be impressed.
You know, I like to fan the flames.
LOL.
LOL.
Like,
blaming homosexuals. No.
You can't do that. It's not funny when you do it.
Why?
Yeah.
Blaming homosexuals. Like, it's funny when I do it. Funnier. Maybe because I'm not gay. Maybe because I am gay. You'll never know.
They'll never know.
The world may never know. How many licks does it get to the center?
Of a Greg pop?
Only Jordan knows the answer.
The world may never know. Oh.
I don't want the answer. Is that
That guy, he died
is
over
that all
there.
for your newsy news?
That
That
was
is all for the news. Sorry, I had to jot that down as in the freaking clip for later. But no, yeah, that's all for the news. That's all I had. So as per usual, let's get into the weeks.
Years. Damn, I thought he was going to get it. I thought he was going to get it. Like he was doing so good.
I had a plan. I was gonna be like
Mhm.
Diva, because then you'd be like, oh, but years. I'm like, yeah, that's why you go first. You gotta let me cook.
I ain't like
Sometimes it
shit.
looks like I'm making sushi, but really I'm making salmon, nigga.
Okay, so my ears for the week. Because of the topic, I've been trying to like connect my ears to the topic in some roundabout long way, and I did. So we were talking about recommendations and stuff like that, and like I figured, well, my first recommendation was my first like anime and like my first love. So it's like I thought like what would be like your first Disney ride? What was your first Disney ride? And do I have ears for that?
Dumbo.
I do. It's Dumbo,
I
right?
swear to
Right?
God, you showed
Everybody
us this. Has she shown this?
I think I
no,
have, but not since we've been visual. Does that make sense? Like, I think I've talked about them.
Why the fuck were you
And
talking about ears now that I think about it? What the hell?
can you
no,
describe it?
okay, let me explain. Let me explain. Remember, like we did a lot of episodes where we started doing this, and then we were never releasing them. Like they may come out eventually, but like
Okay.
you're never gonna
I
see
remember.
it.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. So it's one of those. So these are my Dumbo ears. No, no, no. Now we did all that. These are the Dumbo ears. They were for the 50th anniversary. There was a couple of like special releases. These are one of the ones I got. They have the hat with the feather and like they're just like circusy themed. But it made me think of the Dumbo ride. You know, it goes up and down, have
Hand
the
raise for
little
the
Dumbos.
class.
Yeah.
Do you
Mhm.
keep the tags on your ears like niggas that get fitteds with a sticker?
No. That tells me that if I still have the tags on them, like this tag, it means I haven't worn it yet to the
Same,
parks. And
I
that's
do
how I
that.
know which years I've worn it, which years I haven't. So I haven't worn them yet.
When
They were $34.99, meaning I paid $29 for them. And on the back, they do say 50th. They're part of the 50th and the 50th park anniversary.
words are hard.
So it's they are so hard today. So one of the like original rides like that you remember from if you had the VHSs when it's like we're going to Disney World or and stuff like that and commercial stuff. So yeah. Oh, that is here's the week. I did Dumbo.
When
And
y'all
this
bought
ride is
J's,
at both parks. Huh?
when y'all bought J's, did y'all leave the little like keychain thing, the orange thing on?
Sometimes.
Okay, cool. I
Some
just wanted to make sure I wasn't a fucking loser.
no,
No, that's
sometimes I did,
normal.
and sometimes I put them on my keys. Like if I had multiple pairs of Jordans, like one, like I would take one and put it on my
Nah, someone was
keys, and
like, "Why
then
you still got that on? You trying to flex?" I took it off immediately.
Nah, you should have
you
let the
got
flex go.
somebody punked you in the, in the
Punk you out
you
of a
think
flex is crazy.
I walked in that bitch feeling good.
They say,
Oh,
yo, look
nigga,
at
you
this
still
boy,
got
he's feeling
the
himself.
shit
They say,
on?
hey, watch this, take it
No,
off
I
too.
forgot to take it off.
Whole time they went in the trash, you took it right out, put it on
Yeah,
their
niggas probably
FUBU,
did.
put it on their FUBU. It was like, yeah.
Oh damn, they got me. They got me for the Air Jordan.
got you.
Oh, that's funny.
But for my week, count your days, Walmart distributor person. Count them.
Wait, what?
What did I do?
So I ordered hair dye on the 27th of August. It's a Thursday. It was supposed to get here the 6th of September. So that was a Friday. So on Wednesday, it was after Labor Day. So I didn't message him on Tuesday like I wanted to because I was like, oh, Labor Day was on Monday. Give some grace. But on Wednesday, I saw USPS. It said my label was made. So it hadn't been like my label was made, but nothing had been shipped. So I messaged them like, hi, I just want to know, what the delay is with my order, if I need to cancel it because it's supposed to be here by Friday. It's now Wednesday, and I had no update on my tracking information. Oh, we mailed it out. Sometimes the post office doesn't scan it, and if it doesn't get scanned, you don't get update information. I said, you're gonna stop playing with the federal government. They scan the shit. Don't play with me. get, and you can get this for free if people don't know. I get a notification every day on what letters are coming to my house and what packages are coming. And the packages go back about 2 days. So like if anything has been scanned that has my name, well, my address on it, I get a notification saying this will arrive in 2 days. Or if it's like letters, it's like this is what's coming today. And it's a picture of all of my mail. I know
That's an app,
what's
right?
coming to the house. Huh?
That's an
No, it's
app,
just something
right?
you sign up with the USPS.
You
Is
just
all.
sign up with the postal service and it
Yep.
comes to it's an email. It comes in an
Yeah,
email.
I've heard about it.
Yeah. So they trying to play me like, oh, maybe they didn't scan it. And then that evening, I get a notification. Like you have a package coming your way. Why? Because they sent it that evening and they think I'm dumb. And so then I'm like, oh, the package is gonna be late. And so this was like Thursday evening. So that was Wednesday. So Thursday evening, I send the email like, my package is going to be late. Just want to let you guys know that I'm just upset with my service because I felt like I ordered this in a timely manner and it's not getting delivered on time. We don't control the post office and, we sent it out on time. No, you didn't. I have a log. It logs everything. I can see when you sent it on Wednesday evening and now it's not getting here until Saturday. And because it was my hair dye and I needed to bleach and braid my hair, I didn't get to bleach and braid my hair until Saturday. So I didn't finish my hair until this morning. And so that means on Monday I had to go to work with a headscarf on. Most times I wouldn't have been upset about going to work with a headscarf on, but I work with Black people now. So when I
Oh,
worked with white people, if I'd have went to work
your
like
hair
with
is so amazing.
right in a headscarf, they're like, "Oh, that's cute. Like that's a different look." All the Black people in my office knew that my hair was not done. Like they knew it, and I didn't like that other people knew.
I just find it funny how he fucking got you. Like,
I did comment it on earlier.
oh,
Right, he
so fucking
did.
funny.
So go away. So count your days. I'm writing a bad review, and I anything I buy, I review. Like I usually just give the 4 star, give the 5 stars if everything went cool. So it's not like, oh, you're reviewing because you had a bad experience. I review everything I buy because I know that that's important to the sellers, and a lot of people sell, niche or like have small shops, and it's important. Count your fucking days. You're getting a 1 star from me. If I could give you 0 stars, I would, but you tried to play in my face. But I finished my hair and it looks great. So
It's so awesome for you. Like, wow.
thanks.
Gosh, golly gee willikers, Batman.
And yeah, and I put in my PTO, so y'all not gonna see me next week.
Oh, Jesus. All
Oh,
right. Oh,
and before I finish, I
Where are
girl
you going
bossed
next
too
week?
hard.
what the fuck does
He
that mean?
doesn't know this. Greg does. I girl bossed too hard,
What do I
and
mean?
now I'm doing my second job at my first job, and I'm
Ha!
not getting paid more money.
That's so funny.
My company wants to start doing like YouTube tutorial videos, and so they asked me to like lead the charge and like help edit. And do you know why? She was like, I really like your voice. I feel like you have one of those voices that like people want to listen to, like if you're talking. And I was like, who the fuck told her that I do this shit outside of work? Who told her this? Someone had to
You know, it's
snitch.
even funnier if she listened to an episode because you talk about your job too much.
I don't talk about specifics. Not anymore. I don't talk about specifics
I
anymore.
was about to
But
say,
yeah, so
Yeah,
don't let
now
her
it's
go
a
to the
lot
first
better.
episode. Like,
No, it's a lot better
not
now than
anymore.
it used to be.
Yeah. But I'm just like, how I get like I want to do, and I said this, and it was real confusing, but stick with me. I'm now doing my second job at my first job, and I'm not making more money. I wanted to do my second job as my first job and my only job, and make more money.
Yeah. The lesson in this is if you have skills, don't let them know at work.
I don't know how they found out. I gotta figure it out. Somebody is a snitch.
And Greg wrote a letter.
Yeah, it probably was Greg.
it was me, Barry.
How was your week, Greg?
I don't know. Unless I write down my week, I generally forget what happened. Like,
You
I didn't
cosplay a
do
baby.
too much. What the fuck did I
You
do
did
this
baby
weekend?
cosplay.
I mean, yeah, I watched JT the other day, and like he was in a one piece onesie, and I had a hat, so just put the hat on him.
Oh, that was
It,
adorable.
it made
So
sense.
cute. It
That
was
was
Um,
so
adorable.
cute.
he didn't like the hat. I realized that my office is not meant for babies. He just kept trying to eat my chair, and then like he wanted to rip all my stuff off my desk. He grips everything with like full force. So like he would like try to grip my desk, and I was like, "Yo, stop!" And then he get mad at me. I was so confused. And eventually, I just gave him a cozy for a cup. He just gnawed on that for about 30 minutes, and then he got upset because he couldn't go to sleep, and then he cried. And then I was like, "Why do I want one of these?" And then I took a deep breath and was like, "It's okay. He's just sleepy." And then I just made him go to sleep.
Easy peasy.
You
I
got
hated
the
every
free
second of it.
trial for a toy. It was like, I don't know if I want.
But I didn't really do much this past week. I mean, I just been chilling, dog. Oh no, that's not true. I mean, today was a big day. I don't know. I'll announce it on like some other page, but I'll announce it here first. But you guys are here first. But I'm announcing it on all of our pages. So I'm officially a Doomlings what is it called? I guess content creator or content partner for them. Yeah, I hit them up and I was like on a whim, like seeing if I could do it, and they were like, "Yeah, I mean, your
We need more
media."
black.
I put my personals, and on my personals I haven't posted in a long time. They're like, one of your medias is private, the other one's like you haven't posted in a long time. I was like, check these, and then they're like, oh, you do post on your podcast like every day. Is that your main? Like essentially, like that's where I post like daily, damn near. They're like, we can definitely, run that. So we will be doing a giveaway now. We will be giving away a copy of Doomlings. I'll be saying that in the beginning part of the next episode. But we'll be giving away a copy of Doomlings to someone. I'm not sure exactly how we'll do the giveaway. Maybe it's like, you got to be following, then retweet if you want a copy of the game. And I'll throw a little something special in for you too. Maybe $20 or something like that. Get yourself some lunch.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, it's a fun game. You enjoy play it. We decided we're gonna finish our season out like this week, so that next week, every time we play, the season's gonna be longer because 21 wins, surprisingly for how much we play, very fast. Excuse me.
The fact that y'all have 21 wins is insane. Because remember, that means either somebody won 21 times and someone lost 21
I mean, I
times.
could give you the score sheet right now.
Or
I have it. I have it in front of me.
That's more than 50 games is what
So,
I'm trying to say.
We haven't played 50 games yet. We've played 31 games approximately. So we played. So I'm gonna get into it. Me and her really enjoy the game. We played a lot. It's kind of our thing. I showed it to her on a whim. Like I really liked the idea of it, and then she was confused, but then she really got into it. So we really like it. We're thinking of
You
expanding the
guys have to
season
let me
and
stop
making it
playing.
more wins to succeed in winning, but also maybe involving more people. The winner of the season gets to pick the pin they win. So there's a medal I want. It looks so nice. I want it bad. The loser has to buy the pin for the other person. So that's what this season's going to consist of, and then we'll go into the next one. But I said we're going to record most, if not all, the games for the season and post about it, and I'm going to make a lot of Doomlings content because I really enjoy the game. I would like more to enjoy the game. It's very, very, very fun. A little bit of reading. The first time you're not going to get it, but by the second time,
Liar.
you should.
It's a lot of reading. It's a
not
lot
that
of
much
reading.
It's not that much reading.
It's so much reading.
You're just dyslexic and read very slow. It's okay, sweetheart.
A lot of reading.
Words are hard.
It's a
We
fair
know.
amount of reading.
But just to give you guys a synopsis of how literally we have a shared note section in our phones called Doomling Season 2. Joy wins, Greg wins. So I'll always say Jordan's wins first. Date 8/21/30. Jordan. Date 8/25 4-1 Jordan.
Damn.
Yeah, she was whipping my ass at the beginning of the season, but then I started turning around. Date 8/25 1-4 Greg. Date 9/3 1-3 Greg. Date 9/4 3-2 Jordan. Date 9/7 0-4 Greg, and then date 9/8 3-2 Jordan. The current score is 15-16 Greg. So I'm up by 1. I need 5 more wins to conclude the season. She needs 6.
Close game.
It's coming close. The nail biters. I think
Dog,
it's
yes,
adorable
because
to be
she
done for
thought
that.
we were going to 21 wins at first. I'm like, if we went to 21 wins, you would have won so long ago. If it was best out of 21, she would have won a while ago.
But
Because
you're
the
gonna
first, what?
first 221.
Yeah, it's first to 21.
Okay.
So we're thinking about expanding season and showing more people how to play. I've had a bunch of people hit me up like, it looks really fun. So I'm going to be teaching y'all. And I'm officially a Doom Link creator. So I'll be putting my link code so you guys can buy the
So
game and buy expansions and all that and have fun with that. So that was the biggest development that happened today. Like, at
look
like
at you
lunch.
hustling. Look at him hustling. He said he did a thing, and me and he was concerned.
Niggas think I'm trying to give them more
would
work, but most of the time I'm not. They barely
talk
do the work I
Uh,
tell them to do.
help.
I want you to know that all the videos I made for this week, I made at 2 a.m. last night.
Hey, Diva,
That's not.
Diva, you done your homework?
It's due at the end of the month. Leave me
It
alone.
was due at the end 2 months ago. But, Heed, how was your week?
I'm tired. I'm so
We
tired.
know.
Yeah, party man.
I,
Yeah, that's you.
I don't even think it's not even a party, man. Work is, I, but yeah, it is hard traveling so much and trying to get my feet under me. But I really am just gonna kind of hang out for a month. Like a lot of people are constantly in my DMs, like, "Damn, you just living life, huh?" Everything I did for this entire summer, I planned back in March, like everything.
Mm.
So these aren't just like pop up things. I'm living the moments. Like I knew all this was happening, but it's been fun. I got to see Childish Gambino. I don't know if I said that earlier. In concert. That was my first concert since like a Chris Brown concert when I was like 11. Yeah, it's been a while. It's really good. We were on the floor. It was not the biggest. It was the Smoothie King Center, which is right next to the Caesar Dome, which is a giant football dome in New Orleans. So it's smaller, but it was more like intimate because like he was right there. Like if I just like took this pen and flicked my wrist, it would smack him in the forehead.
That's not nice.
I mean, I
Okay.
wouldn't do that. But it was a nice show. I really liked it. It was sad that he posted, I think today, that he's taking a break from the tour because of his physical health. So, but he's still going to try to honor all the shows, which is crazy because if I waited to see him in Dallas, I would have been part of the canceled shows because he was coming to Dallas next. So I got to go out to New Orleans see him, which is like an hour plane ride from Dallas, not that far. Um, yeah, work sucks. I'm working on these two costumes. If in the back you see this paper and cardboard and shit. Just not doing secrets no more. I'm making, I think that's Sasuke when he got his internal Mangekyo. So the black top, still wearing the bottoms with the purple rope. I make his sword Kusanagi, and if I don't finish, because I'm literally up at night cutting things out and trying to make adjustments to these oversized costumes I ordered from Amazon, um, I've been doing Kin Kaneki in the background. I already have like that done. I just need to cut up the shirt and paint my nails black, and I'm done. I have handcuffs and everything
Nice.
in the context
Fancy.
of it.
Well,
So we
that's
getting
weeks,
into it.
right?
We
Yeah.
booked
Well,
and busy out here.
that being said, it's 2 hour mark. Thank God we made it. Nigga, we made it. Oh, excuse me. Whew. So,
We started late because
biggest
Greg
thing,
was late.
biggest thing,
We're not doing this. Biggest thing is
women are liars. Kevin Samuel was right. But biggest thing is
I
that
got text messages.
all of our Instagrams are now a little bit different than you remember them. I'm going to start. You guys can say whatever you want, how you want to say it, but I'm going to kind of do it the way, I usually do it. But be sure to follow me at Galaxy Greg, spelled GA1AXYGR3G. I'm using that one again for all of my social media content that is going to be podcast, gaming, streaming, Doomlings related, right? I will also be posting on the podcast page and just, collaborating with it. And that is Be More Nerdy on all platforms, including TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, right? Feel free to follow my main page, but that's more just life events, Maybe some things will match up, but for the most part, that's for me. That's for my friends. That's for my family. I would rather fans follow, like Galaxy Greg. If you want to follow his personal life, that's fine. But for any podcast type content, it's gonna be over there. You can follow me in my personal at Mr. Space Waits. So feel free to follow that.
Similarly, you can follow my new podcast Instagram, which will have all of my park content, all of my podcast content that will be there. It is the Diva XOXO, so TheDivaXOXO. So the Diva XOXO. That's where you'll find all that content. If you want, you can still follow my personal page, but that will be only personal life, me, Chris, all that great stuff. And that is still always _the_diva. Even some of me and Chris's stuff will be on the Diva XOXO Instagram, especially like park stuff and wedding planning when we get there. So you don't have to follow my personal Instagram if you don't want to, but if you want to, sure. I
Yeah.
mean, it'll just be like pictures of me.
He the boy.
I love that. Yeah, so also, likewise, I split out my Instagrams, but that's because I have two different things always going on. I'm so busy as these guys are, but
Mr. Worldwide.
I'm I will keep my worldwide activities, my interactions with people on my personals, which would be ooh, honestly underscore heed, fitness journeys, trip adventures, movie reviews. Going to stay on my personal stuff. And then I split out into HD underscore N0 underscore TV because HD no TV exists somewhere. I
There's
have to find
so
another
many of
guy.
those. I actually looked it up just
Yeah,
to check, and there's like
yeah,
8 of them.
yeah. They're in my book. I got to finish finding all their addresses. We'll handle that. But that page will be the podcast stuff, but it'll also be all of my cosplay prop, anything anime, nerd related stuff will be on that page. I am probably going to split them to the point where outside the podcast stuff, all the things I do on the HD No TV page, you probably won't see on my page just to get people to go follow that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm in here always some prop costume idea in mind, and just exploring the world. So tune into both if you want the full picture, or if you want half, that's fine too. I'm not mad at either. So
Mr. Antisocial. Look,
Mr.
living up to his
Antisocial, but
brand.
most popular. That should be the full AKA.
I truly
Because
should be.
niggas love
yeah,
you.
Love him.
which
His
is
DMs
crazy
is popping.
because all this love don't exist in my day to day street. People look at me side eye. So
Well, that's everybody, and that is the episode. Thank you for listening to episode 112 of the Be More Nerdy podcast. And as per usual, remember to be more nerds. Peace.
it's B Mo nerd.